Interior crocodile alligator. I drive a Chevrolet dinner.
So I was scrolling through Reddit aimlessly in the middle of the night one night when I stumbled upon r/TrueRateMe. It looks like people are willingly uploading pictures of themselves to be judged by strangers on the internet. Being the ugly mother I am, I was naturally intrigued. What makes this subreddit different from r/RegularRateMe? The purpose of this sub is to provide accurate and objective ratings for individuals based on their facial aesthetics. The ratings follow a rating system developed by people who are very interested in human appearance and attraction. So immediately this sets off alarm bells in my head. Like, the people who made this aren't experts or anything, like they're just experts in human attraction. Like, what does this mean? So like any good internet denizen, I make sure to read the subreddit guidelines. Fight! Not doing that. But as I keep reading through the posts, I'm finding no explanation as to why every rating is like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. The mods even warn people for voting anything above a 6, even if the person posting is like reasonably attractive. What gives? So I checked the guidelines for the subreddit and oh my god, it sounds like an incel manifesto.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
You've heard the phrase, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. No, not really. Beauty is more objective than subjective. Look, I hate to be that guy, but that sentence in and of itself is subjective. Why do you think there is always general agreement on which celebrities are attractive and which are not? Again, this is just not true. So this is a classic crock of Reddit pseudoscientific bullshit, and how anybody can believe this is beyond me. At the end of this little rant, they list some sources which include an article on Oprah.com, an expert on a plastic surgery advice website, and a thesis written by, maybe you could guess it, a guy that does plastic surgery. To be fair, he is absolutely decked out in academic qualifications, including being an expert in facial attractiveness, which I guess makes sense because he is very attractive. It just seems like such a fool's errand to create a forum, a community, where you're forcing people into having the exact same opinion instead of just letting it be what it is. Like, it's a fucking rating. Like, you're rating something that is subjective. Just let people have their own opinion. And they do force people. If you overrate or underrate, it's 3 strikes and you're permaban. Like, you're out. They claim that beauty is objective, and in order to prove this, they force other people into having the exact same beliefs as they do. I don't know. Let's say they are correct and beauty is mostly objective. If that's the case, what is the point in having a bunch of random people online rate the same post? Beauty being objective implies there's a rating that's the most correct. Just have a subreddit where each post gets a single rating from one of the mods and then the thread gets locked. Better yet, have a mod pin the correct rating, and if anybody doesn't comment the exact same rating as the mod, they get permabanned. Trying to sway people into this weird hive mind makes no sense. It's like I've got a jar of jelly beans, but instead of just counting how many jelly beans are in the jar, I upload a picture of the jar to Reddit so that 1,000 strangers can guess how many jelly beans are in the jar. Are you starting to see how stupid this is? So this community is fundamentally flawed right out the gate, and as I keep going back to it, it just keeps getting weirder. I think this is one of the only subreddits that I've been to where the mods are downvoted on basically every single post multiple times. Like, I know Reddit mods don't have that good of a reputation, but these guys take it to the next level. To be fair, it does take an odd type of person to want to be an internet janitor for a community like this in the first place. They don't seem mentally sound. It's like even people that comment here regularly and like drink the Kool-Aid know how full of shit the mods are. Take this post for example. This girl has a well-proportioned face, good shape, great symmetry, clear skin. From their own guidelines, you would think that this girl would be like at least a 7 out of 10. Oh, I guess not apparently. 7. I'll take my warning. The mods are wrong. Don't forget to downvote mods, everyone. Unbelievable symmetry and feature sizing. Full lips, flawless skin, cute chin. The people saying 5 deserve the warning. She is definitely above average. God, the spite in that comment. And I don't blame them. Not only are the mods wrong, they're smug bitches about it too. There's something so ironic about claiming to be objective while at the same time lording your opinion over other people. Still an 8. Still an overrate. 7.8, honestly. Overrate. Rule 1. 3rd strike equals permaban. If this girl isn't a 9, truly I cannot stand this sub. Warning for overrating. Then you're free to leave. because you don't understand the scale if you think OP is a 9. A 9 is 1 in millions. Well, apparently your own mods haven't read your fucking guidelines, because according to them, a 9 is a 1 in 20,000. Now, I'm no mathematician, but the last time I checked, a 1 in 20,000 is not the same number as 1 in a million.
Quick maths.
Something that I neglected to mention earlier is that on this subreddit, you have to rate based on like a bell curve. In a linear system, a 9 out of 10 would have a 1 in 10 chance of happening, whereas like on a bell curve, thanks to normal distribution, it's going to have like a 1 in 20,000 chance of happening. That explains why everybody is a 5 or a 6, but this way of rating attractiveness is still wrong, and I'm going to explain why later. Let's talk about how terrible the guidelines are. Of these two women, guess which one is a 9 and guess which one is a 9.5? Trick question, they're both 6.5s. The biggest problem with like this reference material is that basically every girl that is above a 6 is like up to interpretation. Like you could literally scramble everyone and it wouldn't make a difference. Are you really telling me that Melody Monroe is more attractive than Ana de Armas? Is Anais Molly that much more attractive than Camille Winbush? Who's to say? This is the shittiest tier list of all time, and it just goes to show that this is all subjective. I will never forgive them for putting Steven Yeun in the same category as DaBaby.
Bruh.
You are. You are gay.
50% of men are not as or more attractive than Steven Yeun, and there's nothing you can say to convince me otherwise. Not while these guys are extremely attractive, most attractive men of all time. Kind of based putting Jonah Hill in below average though. What are you doing putting Welv in the grade and Saint Black Ops 2 selling very unattractive? It's pretty obvious that whoever made this guideline 6 years ago was not basing this off of any sort of objective criteria. They were just basing it off of their opinion. They weren't measuring anything. Do you think whoever was making these rating guidelines were actually sitting there with a fucking ruler and protractor on the computer monitor measuring out the symmetry of each individual face? Like, no, I don't think so. So if the rating guidelines are bullshit and all of the mods base their rating criteria on the guidelines, what does that make the mods? If you guess bullshit, you're correct. 35 male. I'm very self-aware and this is my reality. My god, this guy is already anticipating the worst. 4. Warning for underrating. Rule 2. Please review the sub's wiki, men's primer, and men's guide. Even trusted raters here landed at mid-5s. I am shocked to see an intermediate rater give such a rate, not gonna lie. Right? How dare he say that this man is the same level of attractiveness as Ed Sheeran? Bruh. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't agree that the guy's a 4. I think he's a pretty handsome guy, but like, it's an opinion. It's like, I don't know. It's like the more I read this shit, the more that it just like, it irks me. 8.5. Warning for overrating. Rule 1. Please review the sub's wiki, men's primer, and men's guide. What the fuck? Did you not read the rules and guides when you applied for Flare? How dare you find someone attractive? I mean, it's true, you know? It's like, every single thread, every single post is like disproving them that attractiveness is objective, because you get like thousands of people every single post disagreeing with the mods, and it's like the mods have to like say that to keep everybody in check and be like, no, don't overrate, don't underrate, and it's like, it's crazy to me. You look good. 7 is the highest you can score on here, so 6 is good. This is not true. Mod is big mad. Oh, I wonder what this is. Holy shit. Okay. Oh, dude. This guy's a Greek god right here. No, yeah. You go to their own guidelines. These definitely like a 9 or a 9.5, okay? Don't flag me for underrate here. Not the best nose area. Bad eyebrows. Hair and beard are nothing special. 6.5. What the fuck are you talking about? What? 9. That's an overrate, even for him. What the fuck are you talking about? He's literally the most attractive guy you've ever fucking seen. He's a 1 in 20,000. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. This rating system is fucking bullshit. That is a fucking 9 out of 10. I'd kiss him. Platonically, of course. Let's talk about bell curves. We got the big budget. We're whipping out the blue screen. It's creased to shit, and I suck at lighting. So for starters, if you think of the ratings as like 1/3 of women being a 5.5, you're wrong, because the math like quickly doesn't add up with that. How you should think of it is 1 in 3 women are as or more attractive than a 5.5. 70% of people, like about 70%, are going to be between the ratings of 4 and 6. It's relational to the population. I've got a problem with how they try to quantify beauty this way though. Imagine a future human race where every man is much more attractive than they are today. CRISPR, hygiene, healthcare, who cares? You've got a bunch of 8 and 9s walking around. But are they actually 8 and 9s? In the future, where everybody is a metrosexual, that means that 50% of people are more attractive than what an 8 would be by today's standards. Therefore, all those future guys that are like 8 and 9s are actually average, and so they get adjusted back to the mean of 5 out of 10. But did you catch what happened? If you caught what happened, the standard of beauty changed, but the ratings stayed the same. It's either that or you let the bell curve adjust to the standards of beauty, but then 5 out of 10 is below average. Like, most people are more attractive than a 5 out of 10. The definition of a 5 out of 10 is that it's 50%, you're average. It's just like, it just fucking completely breaks down. In order to make a quantitative measurement out of a qualitative observation, it has to be some level of arbitrary. How rare is a 7 out of 10 in relation to a 5 out of 10? How rare do you want it to be? So I decided to test something. A bell curve may not be able to model beauty, but it could still be an accurate representation of how humans subjectively rate other people on a scale of 1 to 10, which can be measured. So I made a Python script that scraped the top 100 comments from the top 100 posts on r/rateme, a subreddit that isn't confined to the rating restrictions of r/truerateme. In order to compare it to our bell curve, we'll have to bar it. This basically means that if there are 10,000 people, then about 3,500 are going to be 5s, 2,200 are going to be 6s, and then, so on, mirrored on the other side for, like 4, 3, 2, 1. So without further ado, let's see those results. So yeah, most people on r/rateme within this data set at least tend to rate other people's attractiveness pretty highly. Admittedly, it is a pretty small data set and multiple things could affect this. For starters, the type of person to upload a picture of themselves to be rated has to be at least like some level of confidence in themselves, so they're probably less ugly people than there are attractive people. Secondly, since I took data from the top posts of all time, the people in these posts might be more attractive because I'm assuming attractive people get more upvotes. But when I go to look at the posts, most of the people are pretty average, all things considered. At least like compared to the standards of r/truerateme. I mean, shit, these people are 4 out of 5. Even when people have been coaxed into following r/truerateme's arbitrary guidelines, they still don't vote like on the bell curve perfectly. I mean, it's kind of close, I'll give them that, but it's like also completely forced onto people. Like, if they don't vote the way that you want them to vote, then like they're going to get banned. So does it really prove anything about like beauty being objective if you have to like force people into voting the way that you want to vote? Every single post just further disproves their ideology by the fact of like how often they have to complain to people that they're overrating or underrating. Maybe beauty is a little bit more subjective than you thought. Okay, so I came across this discussion post from a moderator of r/truerateme, and he's basically saying that as opposed to thinking that beauty is objective, he's saying that they understand that there's a subjective aspect to beauty, however, they're isolating the objective aspect of beauty. I mean, it sounds a lot more reasonable, but do most of the people that use your sub know this? It's not like any of the wording that you use in your about page or guidelines suggests that beauty is objective and we can prove it. Not like we're taking the objective part specifically. It seems a little bit misleading if that really is what it is and this isn't just bullshit damage control. Not only is truerateme very stupid, there's suspicion of malicious intent, and for good reason too. This is a comment made by a Reddit user on what's funnily enough a starter pack meme making fun of r/truerateme. r/truerateme was founded near the beginnings of the Incel movement in order to provide an alternative subreddit to subs like r/rateme or r/amIugly because incels kept getting banned for flaming women. There was a legit mod there who made posts in various subreddits confessing to the fact that the subreddit was founded by incels. In the link I provided, you can see see other comments in the thread confirming the fact that the former mod actually tried changing the subreddit before the mods changed it back. I remember the beginning of r/TrueRateMe. They would catfish by posting pics of obviously attractive girls, then groups of incels would hop in the thread to give ratings between 3 and 4. Then the catfish account would respond to all the incel comments with stuff like, "Thanks, I agree," all in order to induce some weird form of gaslighting upon other people, as if those attractive girls actually thought they were 4s. One of the weirdest and saddest bits of inceldom. Note, the incel movement has died down a bit, at least on Reddit and or in public, and you should not attack anybody in the current video, or anybody involved with it. It is possible they have simply inherited an old hate project, and anybody still there could be a delusional or misguided soul. However, the subreddit itself is and always was 100% an experiment in misogynistic gaslighting. This is not a claim that is just coming from this one comment on this one post. There are multiple posts on multiple different subreddits spanning a length of time that say a similar thing. I also agree you shouldn't try to witch hunt or harass anybody that is in this video or any of the mods of the subreddit. The oldest mod on r/TrueRateMe, if we're to believe them, is a guy who wasn't even there when the rating scale was invented, so this is a blog post that claims to have a screenshot of some notes that were written by a former r/TrueRateMe mod. This isn't definitive evidence because there's no proof from the blog post that this person is affiliated with r/TrueRateMe. It seems like sort of a stretch that somebody would create such an elaborate lie for funsies, but you know, it is the internet, so you have to take anything with a grain of salt. At TrueRateMe, high scores, particularly for women, are deleted by moderators such as myself, and people who give high ratings are permanently banned, while no ratings are ever deleted for being too low, too insulting, or too crude. This gives us the capabilities to gaslight women and control how they see themselves. Posts that question the moderators the slightest amount are deleted, and people not with the program get banned. One moderator of the sub is presently being investigated by the police for encouraging someone who posted here to commit suicide, and indeed some early posts proposing the subreddit described it as a place we could build to encourage people to kill themselves based on a warped self-image. Internal lingo was that we would build this subreddit to be suicide fuel, but sometimes moderators pick people to be nice to so it's not an obvious scam. Early attempts were to brigade to other subreddits like r/RateMe and vote women down, but moderators there banned brigaders, so we had to create our own space here. Most girls who post on r/TrueRateMe are guys with alt accounts who steal pictures of friends or from other rating subs and pretend to be them to make it seem like a legitimate sub. This practice is encouraged by the moderators. Do what you want, but you have the right to know. They delete comments from users who identify parts of this truth, and I send messages like this to posters as part of a self-imposed penance from people I hurt by participating in this sub. So if this is true, which, I mean, it isn't very hard to believe because beauty being objective is a pretty poor belief in the incel community. It's not like a far stretch of the imagination. Even if the moderators today aren't affiliated with the original moderators or the incel community and have nothing to do with it, that still means that whoever created the guidelines and the rating primers and all of that, they were an incel at some point. Even the oldest moderator that is currently on r/TrueRateMe said himself that he wasn't around for the creation of the rating system. Even if it is no longer incel, is still using the same rating system that was created by incels for the sole purpose of gaslighting women. This subreddit has exploded in popularity recently, and I'm willing to bet a lot of the new people that are rating people and posting images onto the subreddit have no idea about the incel rumors or anything like that. So for anybody watching this video, especially if you're a woman, don't upload pictures of yourself to r/TrueRateMe. I know this probably goes without saying, but it's definitely not worth it. Even if the incel rumors aren't true, it's a completely moronic and sketchy subreddit, and you're probably not even going to get like any sort of valid feedback on your looks anyways. It's just a complete waste of time. So with that being said, make sure to go rate my posts on r/RateMe. I'll put a comment down, a pinned comment with the link to the Reddit post. Also subscribe to me if you want to do that too, or like the video.
Now baby, I'm the Ripper, your baby daddy's worst nightmare. Catch me by the Claire, I'll be right there. Niggas copy everything we say. Louis frames, eyes lower than my GPA. Riding and swerving, kush I'm gold. Goes wide, my trunk bump like Eddie Roll. I don't take hoes, I never tip the stripper. I'm rich bitch, but you can call me Chief the Ripper. Shell toes, yes, BRPS. There's a man riding a horse on top of my chest.